Happy Sunday, everyone. Hey, welcome to this installment of Extraordinary Woman. You have my
Happy
sister mama
2026.
here.
Yeah. Happy 2026, everyone. New year, new
Yes,
things coming.
yes. And that's why we're here. We're talking about 2026, y'all. Okay. We're into the year that doesn't feel like a beginning, it feels like a reckoning. Okay. 2026 isn't asking us for what we want anymore, it's asking what we're finally ready to release, what we're willing to rebuild, and who we are becoming when survival is no longer the goal, but alignment is. Okay. The noise is loud right now. Look what's going on right now out there in the world. Economics is shifting, technology is accelerating at a fast rate. Okay. People are questioning everything from institutions, relationships, careers, even their own identities, their own belief system. And yet, underneath all the chaos, there's clarity forming. Okay. 2026 is the year patterns become undeniable. And I know some people out there have been seeing a lot of patterns, especially when it comes to number patterns 555, 222, 1111. And today is an 1111 portal. Did you know that,
Mhm,
Sister
mhm,
Sophia? Yeah, so
mhm,
it's a
mhm.
special day, guys. If whoever's out there that's into manifesting and things like that, this is a beautiful day to do it. It opened yesterday. It's here today, definitely at its highest peak, and it'll be here tomorrow. So for those who, even those who pray, this is a good time to just open up to the universe what it is that you're looking forward to for the year. Okay. Tonight we're going to talk about 2026 itself. As I've stated to you before, Sister Sophia, this is the number one year. All right.
Mhm.
We'll get into the numerology portion of that a little bit later. But the first question I wanted to ask you is, what does 2026 feel like compared to the past 5 years?
Wow. Well, 2025 was the number nine, which was closing, endings, settling old issues, not only in the physical world, but your personal issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of karmic reckoning and clearing and things coming to an end.
Yes.
2026 carries the energy of number one, as you mentioned, which is about new starts, new beginnings. And I'm not going to say start overs, new starts, because I don't know if you felt it, but I had a very profound experience of it was almost as though, and I kind of compare it to like being born or reborn. It was almost as though around the first and second of the month,
Mm-hmm.
I was pushed through something
Oh,
out of an energy of what was. And the feeling was, wow, what was that? And now looking around was like, well, what the hell just happened? And there was a lot of change and shifting in my life on many, many levels. And some of it was very deep and very personal. And I came out of it in the first few days of the year with a lot of looking around me and looking at where I was now and not feeling it was almost as though I didn't recognize this new energy that I was living in.
yeah.
And, and so it's taken about a week
Mm-hmm.
for me to settle into this new energy and kind of figure out which way is up and what's next. And I'm
Right.
kind of, and the people I've talked to, I'm kind of feeling the same way. They're feeling the same way too. It was almost like when you come out of a noisy, crazy environment and you get pushed into another room or something and the door shuts and suddenly it's quiet. And there are things like you don't quite recognize where you are and where you are headed, but you know something major has shifted and that you just need to move forward because that door that you got pushed through that slammed shut behind you, when you turn around and look, the door is not even there anymore. It's not like it's locked, but the door is not even there anymore, and so you have no choice but to move forward.
Yeah.
Today being that 11/11 day, and the irony is, I talk. I'm not afraid to mention how old I am. I'm 74. So when you
That's
reduce
right.
that down, that reduces down to an 11 as well.
Yeah.
So for me, I woke up this morning, and I had been having some weird dreams during the week, which I don't know.
Oh, yeah, me too,
You,
sis.
you're the third
Oh,
person that talked
it's
about
been
weird dreams
crazy.
during the week.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, my dreams had gotten so strange for a couple of nights
Hmm.
that I got up Thursday, was it today, Sunday, Friday morning, saged my room, burnt some candles, did some special meditations, and just kind of like, purging and cleansing and trying to renew and clear stuff. Um, but it was almost as though I had to find the realignment, a new level of comfort in my own body and in my mind, in the energy around me. It felt off or different. I won't say off, but just different. So I've spent the better part of this week trying to get my feet planted again. I've been doing a lot of tapping
Mhm.
and grounding.
I love
And
tapping. It feels
oh,
so good.
the
Oh,
tapping, I started doing it just before New Year's because things were shifting and I was dealing with some really heavy stuff. And
yeah.
I found that even though I hadn't been really focusing on tapping for a while because I'd gotten used, and doing my other energy work with my technology and stuff. But
Yeah.
when I went back to tapping again, I found it was the most effective and the most deepening energy work that I could have done. I've been certified as a tapping professional for about 20 years now, but I had gotten away from doing it, and now it's becoming part of my routine because I realize it's still one of the most powerful routines you can do,
It
and
really is. It
you
really
really
draws
have
a
an
lot of
effective
energy in there.
result fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't understand. Maybe, one Sunday we should do like a tapping session if you down for
Oh,
it,
I would love to
like a
because
little
I've
sample one so
actually
people will know
started.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I've started doing, it's actually started a couple of weeks ago, but because of all the things that shifted in the last couple of weeks, I have
Mhm.
to start it again. But I'm doing an 8-week tapping series to
Okay.
try to help people get back into themselves and to break all of this energy because things got so weird for me in the last couple of weeks. It triggered a lot of my old PTSD issues,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that I thought I had healed and cleared and didn't have to deal with anymore, and they came rushing back right
But in
before
your
it triggered me
circumstance,
again.
you really can't help it, and I don't really wanna discuss the circumstance right now online because I don't know if you want it out there, but in your circumstance, there's no I can understand why you had the PTSD and things like that,
Oh,
you
it
know?
came up big time, and I had no choice but to find something that would bring me back down to center and literally pull my ass off the ceiling, you know? And
Yes.
something came up and said, "Do your tapping routines, use your tapping, you know that works." I started tapping, and, when I first started doing it, I could feel the energy settle, and I could feel myself finally getting into a place where I could think straight, and
Yeah.
then I started doing it. I created some tapping routines to use in my, healing technology that I use. And that was one of the reasons I realized that I needed to do some tapping for people that were having their PTSD issues and depression and grief. And because a lot of people are losing pets and loved ones right now. And I had to, I started realizing that this was a way to help people get comfortable and to break up a lot of this old energy by creating the body's or stimulating the body's own natural healing and
Mhm.
releasing abilities, which is what tapping does. And
Yes, it
so
does.
I decided then to start maybe doing an 8-week series where I could work on different things with people and help them come off the roof too, because I felt so bad. I mean, I had 2 or 3 people who lost partners,
Mhm.
who lost pets. And one lady, she lost a dog she'd had for like 10, 15 years, and she was in such grief about it
Yeah, that's
that,
like family sometimes to
yeah.
some people, yeah, it's
And,
very
and so I just decided to
mhm.
try and help people. It's like, let's get together. I can, lead you through some tapping routines, and it's enough stuff going on. I think it's going to take about 8 weeks for people to really come down and get into the new year and to really find their way back from
Yeah.
all of this happening. Because I know what happened with me last week. wasn't just me. There was a lot of people that were freaking out because the energy just like within a couple of days it shifted.
Right, it
And
did. It was
it,
very heavy.
yeah, it was weird.
Mhm. So, guys, if you want to call in and contribute to the conversation, please do. Our number is 347-620-6771. Again, 347-620-6771. So, today we're talking about 2026. We're just talking about the full year. This is really not a prediction show as I had wanted. Actually, one of my other mama sisters, I'm going to have her on our show soon so that we can really do a really deep prediction because I was talking to her the other day and she was like spilling
Mm,
it, like her downloads was crazy.
wow.
I was like, yo, I can't even compete with that, son. Like, we
Well, that would
have
be
to have you
great.
on the show so you can like contribute your ideas as to what's going to happen. Hers was more political, which is why I want her on because she had some really great things. She even predicted that Trump was going to do something real crazy this year. And I even predicted last year in 2025, before even 2024, I said what's coming on in 2025 is change. There's going to be so many endings and changes, the way people see government, the way people see spirituality, the way people see their jobs. Everything is just going to shift. And now that we're going into this 2026 portal, it is so important because 2026, as we said before, it represents that one. All
Mhm.
right. And when you think about one, you think about it's I call one the self-centered number. All right. And the reason why, because it's not just about beginnings. Okay. It's about being a leader. All right. It's about leadership. It's about paying attention to yourself. That's why I say it can be a very selfish number. And it's also about unification, becoming
Mhm.
one.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, and that's what we see now in the streets where a lot of, well, not black people, because black people are sitting back drinking their water and chilling because that white girl done died out there in them streets. But black people are like, nah, we're not going to protest because nobody came to our aid. But anywho, back to normal. They're
But see,
out there
that's part of
getting
this whole
together.
thing
Yeah.
because of the one and you know, some activities and things that I'm involved in right now. I'm trying to bring um a refocusing of, let's not bring the old energy of division and separation into this new year of one, which is about unity and coming together. We have been trained, brainwashed, and indoctrinated about the separation between our races, between the genders, all of that. We've been taught that it's always them and us, it's never us together. This year is one where if we don't do away with that old thinking, and when you want to talk about getting into predictions, my downloads and my predictions are a little bit different than most because what I'm seeing is the need for us to stop separating and dividing ourselves into races, genders, whatever, but to come together and understand that there is only one creator, one God, one spirit, whatever you want to call it.
One energy
We are
source
all part of that
that we're
same
all part of.
intelligence and consciousness. And
Yeah.
we've been trained to look at ourselves as separate. And with what we see happening now, it's a manifestation of that separation that's causing so much chaos, confusion, um, difficulty, discord, and it's not just hitting any one group, it's hitting everybody.
Correct.
And you know, the whole thing about, you know, 1% of the population controlling 90% of the assets is about as imbalanced as you can get. And the fact that they want more and more control at the expense of the rest of the population without real regard. I mean, it's not the 300,000 Black women plus, actually 300,000 plus women, not just Black women, because over 1 million
It's just
people have
women
already
in
lost it.
general because
It's
they're
women
really,
in general.
yeah,
All
they
of
really
that,
messing up women
and
a
them,
lot
see, that's the
collectively.
thing, and that's one of the things that what I'm talking about, and you know, I mentioned earlier that 14 years ago I made this video called the baby boomer women, the new endangered species,
Mm-hmm.
about what was coming for us and how our future looked. Now it's happened and it blows my mind. I listened to my video and I was like, God, I was like right on. But the problem is it's dragging all other women, especially women, I say over 50, but even women over 40 are going to be caught up in this because when the jobs do come back, they are going to, corporations are going to be looking for the 20 and 30-year-olds who are physically and emotionally younger and able to work those long hours, to be controllable and manipulable, who want less money because they are younger and they know that they're starting new careers and they've got educations that are in line with the way corporations are going, technology and all of that. So anybody that's
I
over
see the
40,
differences. I see
uh,
that. I see a difference in that. I don't mean to cut you off, but I see that. I see a difference. I think that corporations do not want the young, and the reason why is because it's hard. Yeah, young people are more moldable, but not this. That these Gen
well,
Zers,
see, that's the
they
thing.
on
That
some other.
I
These Gen
agree with
Zers
you.
are different,
I
and they
agree
want
with
respect
you,
and they want their money, honey. They want
except
their
that we're
money.
not to that point yet. When and the reason when I said when the jobs do come back, the corporations are going to start looking at the younger people and wanting them to come back and work. What the corporations don't know is that these younger people have found their own ways and are creating their own ways into the future
So
using
there's no way they're going
technology
to
and
return
AI.
back to corporate and not accept money when they know that they can make their own money outside of
But see,
corporate.
that's what corporate doesn't realize yet. And so what's going to happen though,
I
even if
think they
the
do.
young people aren't there, the older people are not going to be desirable to be in those crash and burn positions because number one, they're not going to want to work those long hours. They're not going to be wanting to be paid minimum wage. Mature workers are going to need more and want more, and we're older, and so we're not physically able to do some of the same things that younger people could do. I mean, when you were in your
It's
20s and
different.
30s, you could work a 14-hour day and handle it. When you're
Right.
50, you can't do that, and at least not on a long term, you get
I
burnt out
think it's going to
fast.
be different because okay, so I just seen a documentary recently of some older adults, okay, who are doing some really young jobs, okay, like door dashing and things like that. All right.
But they're
And
working for themselves, they're not working for a company,
but
and they
it
work their
doesn't
own
matter.
hours.
They're back out in the workforce. These are people in their 70s, and some of them are even in their 80s,
I
okay?
know,
And they're door dashing. So
I
I
know.
feel that corporations, if these people have a viable education, the corporate will use those people and pay them pennies on a dollar because they know that they
Or
can
some of them.
manipulate the seniors because the seniors are not employable.
Well, we haven't come back, like I said, we haven't come back to that yet. When the jobs first do come back, and they're already trying to do it, the corporations are going to go for the younger women and younger men, basically because they're, like I said, they're the ones that are available who can do the work and be managed and supervised the way they want to. Once
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
realize that those younger people are not necessarily available because they've learned to make their own careers, to make their own money. And a lot of them are doing DoorDash and other stuff too. But technologically, they are also wired for this new world of AI. And I mean, that's who's really taken AI and creating a new way of living. So
Yeah.
what's going to happen though is the seniors, the older people, some of them are going to get hired back, but for the most part, they won't. And it's going to take a while for corporations to realize they cannot fill those jobs with the young people. They're going to try, but it's going to take time. Meanwhile, you've got a lot of seniors and a lot of 40 and 50-year-olds who are going to be caught in the middle of no way back for quite some time. Now, there are some things that are happening. Some fortunately, some visionary, wealthy people are creating some channels for people to come in if you're willing to embrace the new technology, learn AI, do certain things, work for yourself, and become your own entrepreneur. There are some opportunities that have come available recently that you can learn how to do that, and you don't have to worry about going back to work for a corporation. You can learn to work on your own. but a lot of seniors still are not able. And when I say seniors, I'm just saying 40 plus, 50 plus.
I
A
hear
lot
you.
of yeah, a lot of older people are not willing to embrace AI. They're either afraid of it, or they don't know how to do it, or they're just, whatever the case, they're trying to avoid it. And that's the wrong mindset. I remember when the auto industry first started replacing people that were building cars with robots. And a lot of people um, fought it. They worked in the factories and whatever, and they fought the robot replacements. But instead of getting retrained for new careers or different phases in their existing careers, they, strikes, they didn't go to school, they didn't do job replacement. They ended up in some very, very difficult places because the robots came in anyway. Now we're in a point, 30 years later, where people are resisting learning how to use AI, not realizing that AI is not going away, and it does more than just create pretty pictures.
Yeah.
AI is the new technology that's coming into play that is going to give us better medical treatments.
Yeah.
It's going to help us with our monetary systems. It's going to teach us and take care of us, and it will take away some jobs because it becomes such a great writer, creator energy that you need to learn how to use it so you can get it to help you do what things that you couldn't do before. But for people who are avoiding learning AI because of fear or religious beliefs or whatever, those are going to be the ones that are like the factory workers who refuse to get re-educated and accept robotics. Life and everything's going to move on and leave them behind if they don't realize that, hey, I need to get on board with this because AI is here to stay. I
Yeah.
mean, I think I told you about when I was working on the Y2K project.
Hmm.
And I was working on Pacific Life Insurance claim system, and I was given the project managership.
That's one of my peoples that I
Yeah, well,
represent.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was in the claims section. We paid commissions to the salespeople. But anyway,
Yeah.
I was given the responsibility for converting their system to be Y2K compliant.
Yeah.
And in one of the meetings that we had, I was working with IBM systems engineers and specialists because all of the large companies got their engineers to come on and be on site to help us with the conversion. So in one of the meetings, I asked the guy, I said, I don't understand why this is happening. Computers are barely 20 years old. Didn't you guys know that this was coming? Like the century, it wasn't like it was a surprise. We
Right.
knew this was coming in 20 years. So how come you design systems that didn't accommodate a four-digit year? And he kind of laughed and he said, I don't know about back then. He said, but if you think this is something, wait until 2030. 2030 is going to change everything. It's going to be bigger than Y2K. He didn't elaborate, and I know in retrospect now they were already working on AI by the year 2000. That was already something that was coming. I had no clue what he was talking about, but here we are on the threshold of 2030, and AI is here, along with some other things that are getting ready to drop.
I
And
believe him because 2030 is a 5 year, and five is all about change.
it's all about
So there is
changing,
going to be a
and
major
that's
change in
part of
2030. So
what
he's
is
absolutely correct.
and where we are right now. We are
Hmm.
in that life cycle where the next 5 years is when everything is going to change, and there's going to be disclosure and revelations and things that are going to make some people are going to jump off buildings. They're going to be so overwhelmed with the revelations. Others
Yeah.
are going to be sitting back and probably go into a catatonic state because they're not ready to understand and accept the truth and the things that we're going to see that we've been lied to for eons. But the main thing is the next 5 years is going to
Hmm.
be the time of change and transition. So you can either prepare yourself to be part of that change and transition and learn how to live in it and work with it, or you can sit back and watch life pass you by because things are getting faster. They're not going to slow down for you to catch up. It's already happening. Even the planet, I've seen some science reports where the scientists are saying the planet is spinning faster, that the clocks are having a hard time keeping up. Now,
I
put
heard
that in
that.
your pipe and smoke it.
I heard that. I
Yeah,
really
well,
did,
it's
which is
really
why the day
happening.
looked different.
Yep,
Have you ever noticed that? The
yep,
day looks different.
yep.
3 o'clock doesn't look like 3 o'clock,
And
you
not only
know?
that, but there are new rays of color. The sun is giving off new color rays, and we're seeing different manifestations of how that looks. Not to
Mhm.
mention how it's changing the planet and all of us, which is why some of us are having such crazy, energetic times. We're having our dreams are changing, our attitudes are changing, our bodies are changing,
Yeah.
and most of us are in denial about what all that means. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not going away. You need to start looking at what it really means. And every time I mention the word ascension, people go, "Oh, you're crazy." No, I'm not. And you need to see what's going on. It,
People are gonna ascend, but in a different way, and I kept
it,
telling people
it's
that.
different than we
Ain't Jesus coming
expected.
down to the earth on
No, there ain't no rescue coming.
the earth
There.
and,
Like you said, ain't nobody
yeah,
coming to
and
rescue us.
doing what people
This
think
is
he
a
did,
do
going
it
up in a
yourself
spaceship. It's nothing
experience.
like that.
No, but
Ascension
one
is
of the
more a
things,
mindset, which is what people have to understand.
it's
Everything is
consciousness.
a mindset. It's a
What
right, it's a conscious
It's
state,
the
right?
consciousness
Consciousness.
evolution. It's
And that's
and one of the
everything is
things,
right now. Even what we're saying right now here on this internet is all consciousness.
it's
That's
all
it.
everything is consciousness. When
We're
you think
all
about
living a
it,
collective reality with each other. And that's what people
we go
don't
back to the
understand.
one. There's
Yeah.
only one creator, one God, one universe, one spirit, whatever name you call it,
One
arose till
energy
arose.
source. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
that
yeah.
consciousness
Whatever it
is
is
what
one.
everything is made of, and everything is the same energy of that one consciousness. So
Yeah.
what we're seeing happening when I say ascension, even the teachers and things that I've been studying with for years, and people who talked about it and thought they knew what was going on. Right
Hmm.
now, everybody's sitting back going, well, this is different. Even the ones who thought they knew what was going on are stepping back and saying, well, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. And I'm one of them. It's like, yeah, I knew it was going to be something. I didn't know it was going to look like this. But when you think about the consciousness, because we're humans and we see things in 3D tunnels, um, when you think about consciousness being the all that is, of course it's going to be different than we expected. We had
Right,
no clue.
exactly.
We had no
Exactly.
clue. We don't have brains that can wrap around the vastness of everything that's changing. We're trying to keep up with our own lives, and the planet and everything else around us is shifting, whether we like it, admit it or not. It's happening. You guys need to finally say, okay, well, tell me what to do next. And most of us are going to say, I have no idea.
Exactly. So 2026, the number one year. My question to you is, do you think that there is going to be a shift in reality?
Hmm. It's
Yeah.
already
I
happening.
already feel it now.
It's already happening.
Oh, so I was watching YouTube, my favorite show, and I was watching a few videos of some young people on there. They felt like they are living in a loop. And I said, "Oh my goodness, they probably are stuck in a certain, frequency or a certain reality that they need to get out of, you know." But I really think that the powers to be, and I hate to call them the powers to be because they ain't powerful over nobody. We got to wake up, people.
Well, they still
But
are because we allow that
we
influence.
allow them to be powerful, right? That's
Hmm.
why we are allowing this to happen.
Hmm.
But those peoples, okay, are setting it up where these babies don't have any wiggle room in life. All right. For instance, all they do is go to work and go home, go to work and go home. They
Well,
don't
that's
have
old
time.
people too. It's not just the young ones.
Well,
The
yeah,
seniors are like
but
that. Everybody's like
well,
that.
older people done lived, okay? And some older people were rich back in the day. They may have lost their money, but they were able to do things that these young people can't do today. Now,
Right.
me being a middle-aged chick, all right, I remember a time where I could go out, I could work, and I still had money on the weekend to go out because life was cheaper, you
Hmm.
know. My rent was expensive. Don't get me wrong. For that period of time and for the amount of money I was making, rent was expensive, but still to go out, to go to New York City, to go to a club, to go to a dance, whatever, it was a lot cheaper. And also people were a lot more social. We had cell phones and things like that, not to this magnitude now of Facebook or anything like that, but we were just so social. I remember eating Mama's fried chicken for $2.99. You get 4 pieces and a biscuit. You know what I'm saying? That was cheap. Everything was just so
KFC was
cheap.
a way. KFC made a
Yeah,
whole business out of that very thing.
with a
I
snap
remember.
like free for 85 cents. You know
I'll
what I'm
take you
saying?
back even further. When my kids were little,
Yes.
and my daughter just turned 52 yesterday.
Oh, happy
Uh,
belated birthday to
yeah,
her.
she just turned
Yes,
52 yesterday.
yes.
But when
Same as
she
my
was
sister.
little, like
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 years old,
Hmm.
we would take $20 and be able to take all four of us, me, my husband, my son, and my daughter. We go out to a Mexican restaurant, and all of us could have dinner and walk out of the restaurant, tip the waiter, and still have a couple of dollars left over. Or we
Yes.
could take $20 out for the weekend, fill up our tanks with gas, and still have money to left, to go to the weekend.
Yeah.
Now $20 won't even fill your tank, let alone do any, buy dinner anywhere.
Oh, it's not buying dinner at all
Yeah,
because a regular
unless
family
you're eating at
style dinner at
McDonald's, it's
Popeyes
20,
is like
yeah,
40,
$20 a
$50.
person. But
Yeah.
the point is, back then, and when you mentioned being in a loop, time is collapsing. We think of past, present, future as being the definition of time, and that's not
Because
true.
time is not real.
Time time is not real
It's not real.
the way we perceive it, but there
Right,
is something.
exactly.
Time is actually a loop in itself.
It's,
It's a
isn't it time
spiral.
linear?
No, well, we perceive it as linear, past, present, future, but that's
Right.
not it. It's a spiral.
Spiral.
Um,
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
spiral. And so, when we first started talking about the Mandela effect, well, I
Hmm.
thought that happened, didn't it? He didn't die, didn't he die
No,
already?
that happened this way.
That
Yeah.
started, we started seeing that happening in the last 20 years. And what happens is sometimes you will perceive or think that something happened, you know, 2 weeks ago or a year ago, whatever, and suddenly it's in front of you again, and it's like, wait a minute, I remember such and such. That's time as it's spiraling, and though we want to think about past, present, and future, it's
Right.
not the way things happen, because there's only one eternal moment of now. In the reality of things, anything could happen at this point in time. Any
Right.
possibility could pop up in your reality and surprise you as your present. And don't even try to wrap your mind around what that really means, because we're not there yet. We're not at the place of enlightenment where we can understand what that means. Yet there's the evidence that that's what's happening when you see things that don't make sense because they seem out of sync, or maybe even there are
Hmm.
people that are having experiences now where they can't find something. I had a guy the other day tell me about a story where he said, I couldn't find my cell phone, and I'm walking and looked all through the house everywhere I could look, and after about 20 minutes I came back in the kitchen and the cell phone was lying on the counter. He said, now I know, had that cell phone been there the whole time, I would have seen it because it's right there on the counter. I looked and walked through that kitchen, I don't know, 10, 15 times. That cell phone wasn't there. But when I came back in this time, there it was. And he said, what is going on? I said, that's part of that spiraling of time where things are starting to pop out when you least expect it. They made science fiction movies about it. Now we're finding out that a lot of the sci-fi movies they made in the past were actually disclosure.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
we
So
called it
funny.
entertainment.
That happened to me the other day too, and I just trumped it up to old age. Like, oh girl, you like
No,
you
not
middle age
necessarily,
now, girl, for real, for real.
not necessarily old age.
You getting old, girl.
No, I'm telling you that's kind of,
That's why
and it
now I
seems
be
to
checking
happen more.
myself. Like, did I put my glasses here? Did I put my keys there? And I just make sure I check myself. And then even that doesn't really do much because, as you say, it's a spiral. So
It's the time the stuff is popping out,
yeah.
just popping out of, they're some of the old, especially some of the old campy sci-fi movies that talk about time travel,
Yeah.
where
Back
things,
to the Future was one
people
of my
show up.
favorites. Love
Yeah,
it.
well,
Love
it's
it.
that, like I said, disclosure, and
Yeah.
when I look, I'm a sci-fi buff. I used to love. I was sci-fi way back from the. Oh, you guys probably don't know this time. Twilight Zone. Um,
Oh goodness.
but way
That's one
back
of my
when I was a
family
kid.
favorites. We are
When I was a
Twilight
kid,
Zone.
I used to love
Yeah.
those TV shows and
Same.
then the movies and stuff. But there are some of those shows, in fact, most of them.
Hmm.
Now, when you look back on some of the stories that they told, you can look at it and go, wow, they were telling us a story and we thought it was a movie or a TV show or whatever. And it now looks like that was, disclosure. They were telling us things that were going to happen, but they called it entertainment. Now, you mentioned the powers that be. One of the reasons why science fiction movies were created, because they didn't really start showing up until the 50s.
Yeah,
Like,
they did,
they
right.
didn't, there was no real sci-fi in the 40s
I
or
really
whatever.
think there was some type of alien intervention during that
Well,
time, which
no,
gave
what
mankind
happened,
some technology that
that was
mankind
part
had
of it.
to,
But what happened was the God gave everybody, human beings, free will choice.
right?
Free will choice says that your desire to be sovereign over your life and make your own decisions is it cannot be violated or stepped on without karmic consequence to the person violating your free will choice.
Correct.
Except if you give permission.
You have to give them permission
And
first. And they
giving
do that
permission
in the
can also
movie,
mean doing nothing, saying no, because you're making a
right?
choice to not reject or resist.
Yeah.
So the way they decided to get around that having to tell us what's going on and what they were going to do to us, they created movies and called it entertainment so we could go and see the movie and see what they told us they were going to do and
And
go,
expect
oh,
for
ha,
it to
ha, ha,
happen.
and
Yeah.
then not do anything or complain or reject the idea. Therefore, they had our permission. So
You
what
know,
you're
Billy Carter, your boy,
Carson, yeah,
Carson. Why do I call him Carter? That's so
I don't
horrible.
know.
I'm sorry, Mr. Carson. I've been looking at him more since you told me more about him. I've always known about Billy Carson. I've watched him, but lately, since everything's been happening, especially in this world, I've been looking at him more. And actually, he publicly denounced what was going on. He was like, I don't want any parts of this. I don't want to pay for this. I don't want to do that. He was like, you guys can do that, but I personally don't want to do anything. I don't want any parts of it. And I said, wow, that's a very public thing to do
And
because
he's
a
been
lot of
paying the
people are
price.
not doing that.
He's
They're
been
not
paying the price
denouncing.
for taking that stand.
Yeah.
He's been under attack,
Oh,
and
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, and there have been he's had major losses in his finances and business, but he's diversified enough to where he can kind of ride through these waves. But some of the things that he's told us that has been done to him, all I can do is shake my head and say,
Yeah.
God, it's
Because
not
it
just
takes a very
everybody.
brave soul to stand up
Yeah, it
and
does,
to
and I
say
admire
something.
that
And this
about
is
him.
what I don't understand is this. If there's millions and billions of humans here on this earth, and only like 10% of them, as they say, or 1%, whoever they are, why is everybody in compliance with this? Is it that we like how we're living
No,
here? Is it
it's
that
part of
we
the brainwashing and controlling and the whole mindset of we will take care of you if you just do what we tell you. And so they gave us just enough comfort and enough ability to have ease in our life. Most of us are not out having to dig, and plant and harvest their own food or whatever. There's still a lot of people that are having a lot of trouble and they live in very volatile places, but for the most part, the vast majority of people on the planet have a certain amount of comfort and ease and grace that's been granted to us by the powers that be, enough to keep us complacent enough to not fight back or to say anything because of the threat of taking away all of this ease and comfort is too great. And at this point in time, that is still a very real threat.
yeah.
But as time moves on, one of the things that we don't really understand about some of the technology that's being introduced is some of this technology is sci-fi technology being introduced to us by off-worlders who are working behind the scenes to help advance us forward. When they created the cell phone, um, one of the purposes of the cell phone was to create enough of them and spread them to all areas, put up satellites, put up cell stations and everything, so that even the most poverty-stricken people could have cell phones.
Mm,
And that way they could be online and connected.
mm-hmm.
Then they created digital currency. And digital currency now
Oh,
is beginning to come into being, and it's very much a part of our new economic system that hasn't been introduced yet. It's still in it's still quiet, and but it's been around for 20, 30 years. This system was designed to be introduced 20, 30 years ago. But
mm-hmm.
this digital currency, and it's more than crypto. The whole point is somebody with a cell phone and a digital coin wallet, a digital wallet, currency wallet, could now be involved in blockchain finance and could do business with anyone in the world, could have currency that is not controlled by their government or their leaders. Therefore, having a cell phone and a digital wallet will give people access to money from anywhere because it's no longer a country controlled commodity. By doing that, they will eliminate world hunger and poverty immediately. Anybody with a cell phone and a digital wallet will be able to access and do business with anybody in the world with blockchain currency. Blockchains are the new contracts, a new way of doing business, because when you use a blockchain to create a transaction, it cannot be altered. So it forces integrity and control into the economy, into the business transactions. And it
Mm-hmm.
also takes a lot of that control away from governments. It's going to redefine and refine the way we do business.
So
So
it's basically not involving the World Bank, which is what I think that they're trying to get into the digital currency
they're
sector,
all going to be in it. There's one
which is why they're trying to get people to go digital right now.
right, and this is going to be part, it has to happen. And this is one of the reasons why when I was saying AI and the things that are coming, the new technologies that are coming in the next 5 years are going to change the world and change the planet, but it has to be this way. Kind of like go back and look at some of the Star Trek movies when everybody's on digital currency.
Yeah.
And we're moving to that point. I mean, we're already starting to do away with paper money and coins, and within the next 5 years, it's estimated that paper money and coins will pretty much be non-existent. Everybody will be doing business, and they're even saying it's going to get rid of credit cards and debit cards.
Yeah.
That you'll have a cell phone and you'll have your digital wallet. Crypto will be part of it, but it won't be the main currency, because
Correct.
when the new economy, there's two economic systems that are coming. One is called Nesara, Nesara, and the other one was called Gesara, Gesara. And these two economic systems will be introduced and create a new way of living and new way of doing business for the world. Now, a lot of the younger people, when anybody born after the year 2012, or maybe even 2000. Anyway, back in the 2000s, we were talking about the indigo children and the crystal children and all of those. Well, now they're millennials and Gen Zers. That's what we call them now. But they
Mhm.
were born and they're wired different. So they are the ones who are coming along and already prepared to do and be in this new world economy,
Yeah, I was
where
going
the
to say
rest
that
of
they
us
are very
haven't had to
prepared.
pick up.
Yeah,
But so as
they're very
people,
prepared.
yeah, as we older people start to accept and learn these new technologies and the new way of life, it's a shift for us, but it's a shift that the changes in the planet and the sun, it's changing a lot of us already, and we're being offered the opportunity to grow and shift and learn. It's called the ascension.
Yeah.
But resisting it, like they say, the Star Wars, resistance is futile. You will be absorbed. you,
Yeah. Give us a
you
call, y'all, 347 620
Yeah,
six seven
it's
seven
so much,
one.
and all this is coming in the next 5 years.
Yeah. I was going to
Um,
say too, here's a prediction from me. I feel since we're in this 1 year, and remember, guys, for the people who understand what's going on in this system, the 1 year really technically doesn't start until the spring. Okay.
Right,
Right now we're
right,
still in 2025,
right.
technically. All
The
right.
energy.
So the 1 year is really going to take off when it gets a little bit warmer and the life around us it starts to renew.
The
All
equinox
right.
is when it officially starts, the
Exactly. The
spring
spring
equinox,
equinox, which is what, March 22nd or something, March
something like
20th.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, 19th, 20th, something like that. But that's when we really should, whatever it is that you're trying to build, release, start, whatever, it will be wise to do it at that time. Of course, right now, you still should clean out your closet in things that no longer serves your highest good, because again, we are still within that non-energy. But my prediction is I really feel that since we are in the 1 year, there's going to be a lot of creators out there that are going to get rich, straight
Mhm,
up. A
mhm,
lot of people
mhm.
think that, oh, the economy's doing bad. This is happening in the world. Mm-mm. These babies out here, or these people that are astute to the AI and things like that, they're going to start making money
Well,
off of
they
that.
already have.
They
They're
have, but
the
it's going to be at a higher rate. I think it's
that
going to kind of be out of control, where of course those people, the powers that be, are going to come down and try to do something to stop it.
oh,
Because
but they won't be able to because for several
just like what
reasons.
happened with COVID. Remember when COVID happened and these
That's
babies
when it
started making
started.
money on their own, like, okay, we ain't got to go back to the office no more. And so they started doing YouTube and doing all
And
like
created a
DoorDash and
whole new
everything else took
industry
off.
called influencers. That's what I
Exactly,
was,
a
yeah,
whole
I was
industry of
about
influencers.
to mention
And
that because
influencers are the new celebrities. Don't let them fool you. There was an influencer just recently, sis, that her husband got caught cheating on her, something like that. He cheated on her. They were a really beautiful young couple, and now they're getting a divorce. Like everybody loved them. So I don't even know who these people are, but because they're
I don't
influencers,
either.
it's all over the news. I'm like, dang, they're the
Well,
new
when when
celebrities.
they started showing up as celebrities on like Dancing with the Stars, and then this celebrity this and this celebrity, this influencer
Yeah.
died. It's like, who is what? You know, but see, that was the thing with the young, those millennials and the Gen Zers. When when the corporations, when the reset, how we call the pandemic the reset,
It
when
was
the
the
reset
reset.
happened,
Great reset.
those young people grabbed their cell phones and their suitcases and start traveling the world doing things that we never imagined would be popular, and they created all of this.
They
I mean,
created
they're
a different
responsible for
lane.
things like IG and TikTok, because
Exactly.
everything is is a video. And my, my life, I make myself a star. That was the beginning of the
This
change.
is the best year to do it right now because again, one is creation.
It's
It
what
is
I'm, yeah,
creation.
exactly,
It's a start.
exactly. And
If
this is
you
like,
guys want to start a business, whatever is in your heart, start that book, Yolanda.
this is like the
Whatever it is,
industrial
do it.
revolution, when people started building
Yeah.
corporations, and all kinds of things happened back in the teens, the 19 teens.
Yeah.
Um, this is another
Look
one
at
of those
history.
banner times when, if you step up and step into some of the opportunities that are out there, you will be able to financially secure your future and those of your families.
Yes, you
But you
would.
can't sit back and say, "Oh, I'm scared of AI," or "I'm afraid of this." Fear will keep you stuck where you are and make you miss the boat.
Fear
You know,
will paralyze your ass
there's a
still.
thing that I'm
It
doing
will
right now
paralyze
where
you.
I'm starting to introduce some ideas to women, because my whole thing, when I published that video 14 years ago about baby boomer women becoming the new endangered species, I didn't realize that was a prophecy. But now when I listen to it, it was right on everything. So when I'm looking now at the baby boomer women, the Gen X women, we're all caught up in this same scenario where if we don't do something to change our lives, retirement is about to go out the window. And I look at retirement as something those people taught us to do because they wanted to get us, when you get to a certain age, you wake up and start, you can't be manipulated and lied to as much anymore. And so they want us out of the corporate world because we're no longer controllable. So what they do, you're getting too old, and we celebrate youth and beauty, and the old people go somewhere and sit down and die. And a lot of times when people retire, they are dead within 5 to 10 years because
Mhm.
they no longer are able to express and be creative.
Yeah,
But
serve a
look
purpose
at the
here on earth.
politicians. They don't die and they don't retire. I mean, they die, but they don't retire until they're like 1 foot in the grave.
99.99 years old.
Yeah, and we just had this one guy, this representative, he was 86 years old. He just died, and the president is nearly 80. So the question is, when you need to think about politicians and company CEOs, the leaders, the very wealthy, they do not retire. Only the average citizen looks to retirement. And when you get to the point of giving up your income and step into retirement, you are now at the whim and pleasure of whatever policies and things that they do, just like what's happening now.
Yeah.
So with the AI being the new kid on the block and creating this, I'll say, technological revolution, this is a chance for people who are looking at future, because bear in mind, they're extending life. Everything is about living to be 100. And from what I understand, and this is a prediction, 100 is going to be the new
Prediction.
50. Yeah, 100
Yeah,
is going to be the new 50 in the
I believe
very
that.
near future. Because people, they're already starting to do things, and the bodies, because we're taking better care of ourselves, and we're going to be doing better. And with these new medical technologies that are making us live longer, 120 to 130 years old is going to be the norm
Yeah.
for millennials and Gen Zers. So you figure, if you are going to live that long, you need to have some kind of financial, economical plan that supports you to get to that point.
Okay, so what I
Social
think,
Security is not going to be around, and it's designed to not support you. It already is not enough.
yeah, Social Security bunked that. Bunk Social Security, y'all. It's
Just
not going to
forget
be
it. It's
here.
going to go
What
away.
I
You
foresee,
got to
and this
do
is
it
the
yourself.
prediction, is that again, the 1 year, people really are going to be more communal with each other because they do not like what's going on in this world.
We
All
have
right.
to.
You're going to see a lot more communities get erected around the United States where people will just live amongst each other. They're going to support each other and they're going to barter with each other, like how we did back in the day.
Exactly. And
Seriously.
that's exactly
And
the way it
that's
should
going
be,
to
because
be
that
the
puts the
game
control.
changer right there.
It puts the
That's a game. That's
control
a
back
prediction,
in the
y'all.
hands of the people. And
Yeah.
now corporations and things will still be around because we still need them for
We
mass
will,
production
yeah,
and
we
what have
will
you.
need
But
them for
it's going to
sure.
change.
They need us.
They
Okay.
do need
First
us.
of all, corporate needs the people.
Because
All
that's
right.
what
Not
people
just the
are,
work,
corporations.
not
They
just the
forget.
work, y'all, but they need us to push their products because
Yes, they do.
without us, they would not exist. So
I
they
keep
do
telling
need
people
us
all
to
the
push their
time,
product.
corporations are people, and people, they've made it such that we believe that they're the powers because they've accumulated so much, and they keep their thumb on us and keep us so brainwashed with TV and violence and negativity so that we can't think straight. But because of the nature of change, and this is part of what the planet is doing, the solar system and planet is doing, the planet cannot survive if corporations continue to be in control and doing what they're doing, because they're killing the planet with all their toxic behavior and toxic ways and lack of concern for the environment. But all of this is about to change.
Yeah, I was going
All
to
of this
say,
is
I
about to
predicted
change.
that in 2025. Another thing I predicted in 2025 is the housing situation. I said the way housing is set up right now, it's going to be different. Now, in 2026 that we are in now, what's going to happen? First of all, Trump is already pushing the corporates out from buying houses right now because he feels that them buying houses is taken away from the American dream of people. But another thing is, people, they don't even want these houses no more. They don't want these
The
old
younger
homes
people
that
don't.
they
Yeah,
have to fix up and stuff like that. People are going to move in a different direction of housing. I see more people moving towards land, okay, and again building more communities amongst themselves. They're
well, you
not
can
going
still
to
build a
be
community
really.
with the existing real estate. You just have to do it differently. I mean, we got subdivisions everywhere, and those
Yeah,
little
but
communities.
a
can
lot
come
of
together
it,
and
a
create
lot
a
of
lot of their own way of being, get rid
but
of
a
the
lot of
HOA.
corporations, for instance, right? I don't mean to cut you up, but a lot of corporations, for instance, in New York City, their offices are sitting empty. All right. They're trying to convert these offices into like some type of housing right now
Well, that's
because
because that's
things
the
are
only way
going
to
to be different.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way it should be because those buildings are already erected. They're already functioning with minimum amount of conversion that could be turned. Even the malls that have been abandoned, they're starting to turn them into
They're
condo type
turning the malls
living
into
where
housing.
people, and the malls are really, really perfect for that because instead of all glass walls, they could put in actual walls and doors and stuff. But in most of them, they have food courts, they have movie theaters, have all those things where people could live in the homes that they make and then have every convenience that they need right there within walking
It's like a
distance.
little mini smart city for them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
countries, Japan has things like that already.
Yeah.
And China has some things like that already. We're late to the game because our corporations and wealthy people have been trying to hold on to the old ways, and they're fast beginning to realize the
It's
old ways
going
going
down.
away. Yeah, and so they're going to have to convert the office buildings and a whole bunch of different types of facilities into living spaces where people can have less, not to have great expenses owning houses, for the people who don't really want that big of space with all the
Correct.
maintenance required. But we're already set up. We can start our communities. You've got a neighborhood like a subdivision. All you need is an area where, say, like the size of a house, that was a plot of
Like
land,
a quarter of
a
an acre.
community garden, and everybody contribute and everybody plant and maintain. You could grow enough food in one of those community gardens to feed the whole neighborhood.
Correct. Yeah.
And
Give us a
that's
call,
and
y'all.
they're
Give
starting
us
to
a
move
call,
that
347
in that direction.
620
We just
Three
have
four
to
seven
change the
six
way
two
we
zero
think.
6771. You said what's this?
I said we just have to change the way we think and the way
That's
we
the thing.
perceive.
So what I think what's going on is this. People, it's not that people are lazy, because I really don't think that people are lazy. I
Mhm.
think people are just tired. When they come home from their jobs and things like that, they don't have the energy to fight the system back. They just don't. And then their minds are so bombarded with other things outside of themselves, like
Yeah,
social
it's called
media,
TV.
yeah, television. I mean, if they just put those things down, even if you work, right? And you put down social media, you put down television, you put down things that distract you, believe me, those ideas are going to start forming in your head. You're going to start to ask, what the hell is going on and why
And you
can't
will
I get
start
my
to
slice of the pie?
your brain fog will clear because once you stop
Yeah,
programming yourself and influencing yourself with social media and TV, those are distractions.
they
And they're
really are.
designed to keep you so engrossed. If Facebook, for example,
Mhm.
I've been pretty much off of it for the last couple of weeks. I mean, I'm popping in and out, but one of the things that I've noticed since I have taken this little sabbatical,
Yeah,
voluntarily sabbatical from it, is when you go in, everything is a reel and a movie, but everything is so AI generated, you can't tell what's real from what's not.
it's
And
true.
some of it is so, they give you all of these images of disasters, landslides and floods, and they make tidal waves, and they do all these buildings falling over and people doing all kinds of crazy things that it keeps you so afraid and so distracted with, oh my God, look at that crisis. Oh my God, this is happening. When you are constantly bringing up your energy system, and I'm an energy worker, so what those images do is it feeds all this energy into your brain, and your nervous system responds to it because your nervous system and your brain don't know the difference between what's real and what's not. It just sees the
Hmm.
image and you react to it. Well, that
Right.
sets off a chain of events in your body that tend to poison you,
Yeah.
that confuse your mind, that fill you full of fear, make you nervous, you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't think straight, you're irritable, you don't get
Mhm.
along with anybody around you because you're irritable, you're unhappy because you can't sleep, and so you're tired. When all of this negative stimulation starts to take its toll on you, you end up sick. So then you don't
That's
feel
why I
good, and
stepped
then you
away
go
from the
get medicine that makes
television.
you sicker.
Yeah, I stepped away from the television this week because when I saw that lady get popped by the ICE agent, first of all, I didn't know she was a white lady, and even if she was a black woman, it doesn't even matter. The
Right.
fact that she got popped by that ICE agent in her face, like that, really disturbed me. And it also it didn't bring on a level of fear for some no reason, but it also brought on a my energy was just off. Like
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on? I didn't like that, so I just had to step away totally, regroup myself, and then
And see, I
come back
wouldn't
and
watch
talk
it.
about it.
I watched
Don't
some. I
watch
can't
that
remember
mess.
what it was several years ago. It was something that happened, and I watched it,
Mhm.
and I remember thinking, I can't unsee that, and I don't want that energy in my mind. You know, energy, everything is energy. And
It
whether it's
is.
a real situation or not, when you take that energy into your mind, it becomes part of you. And it can take on a life of its own where it becomes something you can't forget and it works in your body like somebody had shot you. It
Yeah.
becomes like a bullet in your body, in your nervous system. And until you clear that out and detoxify your body, and it's hard to get memory out of your brain because of the way the brain works. So it's
Right.
best not to even let those images in. That's why people are so in such bad shape now. What you see on TV, the movies, the music, all of that is keeping everybody so distracted and so misinformed. People can't tell what's real or what's right or what's wrong anymore. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, we're running around like chickens with our heads cut off because nothing makes sense anymore.
So this is another thing when people have that collection of fear, okay, all together around the world, that whole collection of fear, it feeds the powers to be even more.
Hmm.
Like their currency goes up. Anytime we're
Yeah,
fearful, their currency goes up because that's what feeds them and that's what makes them keep going. They love keeping mankind, womankind, humankind in a perpetual state of fear.
we're
That's all it
controllable when
is.
we are afraid.
We are controllable when we are
We are
afraid,
controllable
okay?
when we are
And if you
afraid.
don't believe it, look at what happened in 2020. That enough said should tell you everything you need to know about how the mechanisms they use to keep us in a fearful state.
And you
Right
know,
there.
if you ever watched, we talked about movies and being disclosure. Wonder Woman. Did you ever watch it? I tell you about the Wonder
Goodness, I
Woman.
knew I forgot to do something. Okay,
Yeah,
you have to text me
that
that.
tells
Yeah,
about the satellite technology and how it was
right.
used to manipulate the election, but it also talks about mass fear. Um, there was a movie called The Kingsman, I think it is. It was like
Mhm.
the Kingsmen are the CIA or something of from England. And
Right.
the first movie they made, Sam Jackson was in it, and he was a mogul who created these telephones, these cell phones. And the same kind of mass hysteria happened when they set the the virus off, and the cell phones were making people go crazy. And the Kingsmen were trying to stop them anyway. That there's almost all of the DC comics had disclosure in it, and they talk about things that they can do to influence people to send people into insanity. And when you're running around terrified or angry, and people who are like you hear these shooters talk about they didn't remember shooting anybody or they don't know why they did it. They get triggered because they've been programmed like the Manchurian Candidate to do certain
Right.
things. And once they do it, and then they suddenly wake up, they don't remember that they did something. Wow, I killed those people. Yeah, you did. Well,
Yeah.
all of that technology is out there. And I know people, I've had people tell me, oh, I don't believe in that stuff. It's like, that's why you're controllable. Because if you don't believe in it, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, all of these revelations and disclosures will start to show people the truth. And like I said, some people are probably going to jump off of buildings or, what Billy Carson calls unalive themselves because
Unalive.
they won't be able to take the truth of what's really been going on. So
Yeah.
it's very important to connect with with spirit, with God, with the truth of who and what that is, so that you have something to hold on to.
Yeah,
Um,
so also so you can come from a place of empowerment because we're not
yes,
here, we didn't incarnate here on this earth to be fearful of any human being. We came here to really enjoy life and
we
to
were supposed to.
experience
That was the
life,
way it's supposed to
not to
be.
be fearful. The fuck?
I
Anyway.
know. I agree. But the system, they carefully over, decades and centuries engineered plans. And, Billy talks about how this stuff started and some of how it works. This has
Hmm.
been going on for eons, for centuries, this careful manipulation and planning to keep those that have the wealth. And I think well, he says there are 100 families. I heard that there were 12. But
There are 12 families, I believe, too.
I thought there were 12.
Maybe
He said
hundreds of
there's
people out of those
100 of
12
them.
families,
But
but there
they
are
are
12
the
families.
original ones that
Yeah.
were part of the original plan, and they still have the vast amount of the wealth, and they are still pulling the strings and controlling people. Um,
Walmart.
well,
I
I
didn't say
well,
anything.
two of the families start with the letter R, and I'm not going to say
Hmm.
them because they listen to everything. But one of
I
them is here in
know.
America, and one is in Europe. And then there's the Japanese family, the Emperor's family. There are several others around the world, and they're pretty quiet. They don't say much, but they are the controllers and the manipulators who have been pulling strings for years. Their time is coming, but we need to be ready to deal with what happens when all of this is revealed, because it's going to be um, a time for us to step into our own power and to start doing what we need to do to liberate our planet. One
And
of the
that's what
reasons the Earth is
2026 is
so
all about.
volatile right now is because she's trying to expel and put
Who?
out all this, the Earth.
The
One of
Earth.
the
Yeah,
reasons the
Mother
Earth
Earth.
is
Yes.
so volatile is because she's absorbing all of this crap from us, and we don't think about her being part of us, or us being part of her. But the volcanoes and the storms and everything, she's got to push this crap out somewhere. So it's coming out in her systems, her
Yeah.
her nervous system and her breathing system. And water is part of who she is. It's part of her system that cleanses and purifies, which is why water right now, we're getting all these storms and it's washing stuff away. And, we just happen to be, we're everywhere. We're in the way of some of the purification that has to happen as we keep going. Once
If
we
you're a
stop
water sign,
feeding
this
her
is
with
your
some of
year
the crap,
too.
huh?
I say, if you're a water sign, this is your year. This
Well,
is your
I'm a
year.
water sign. I'm Scorpio. I'm a double
This is your
Scorpio.
year. No,
So
this is your
yeah,
year. I'll talk to
that's
you
one
about
of the
that a little
reasons.
bit later. But
Yeah,
one
I'm
thing
a
I
double
wanted to
Scorpio.
say, another prediction is loneliness. A lot of people are going to feel a little bit more lonely than ever this year because of the one. When you think of one, you think of solitude, but don't be afraid of it. This is the best year to be self motivated. When you feel like you're alone, don't think that you are, because you aren't. If you have to find your people, your community, first of all, I feel that if you open yourself up, your community will naturally gyrate towards you. Okay.
Well, that one is
But
also about learning to love yourself.
right.
That's the
Also
positive side
self-love.
of it.
And this,
Learning to
I
love
really feel
yourself.
like this year, a lot of people are going to come into some type of self-love and self-care and more self-awareness, because
Hmm.
everybody sees the bullshit. Like we
Yes.
see it eyes wide shut, not open, shut. All right. We see everything that's going on. So they're going to end. They're like, no, we do not want this. So if you feel alone and you feel like you don't have encouragement from your family or your friends or whatever, this is the best time to like delve deep into your spirit, your soul, whatever, and be self motivated and do what the hell you need to do on this earth. This is a good time to make your money. This is a good time to just create a project for yourself. Do what it is that you always had wanted to do. This is the year to do it. This
And make
is
sure,
the year.
understand, a lot of people don't like the idea of money because we've been programmed to think money is dirty, money makes
Money
people,
is
people are
energy.
wicked. It's not money. The money is the
People,
economy. It's the people and
the
their intentions
people
and the
misuse
things
it.
that they do with the money that makes it horrible. But without currency, without an economy, we could not have the planet that provides so much for us. We wouldn't be able to do a business with each other and exchange goods for services. Bartering is good, but you can only carry food so far. You need to be able to have food available in vast storages in places where we can take care of the numbers of people that are out there. And we need currency. It's a simple way to exchange our to have an exchange for goods and services. You know,
Right.
back in the day when there weren't that many people on the planet, people could exchange food. People didn't live far apart. There weren't big cities, you know, and
Food
with
was the
millions
hottest
of people.
commodity at that point. That's why food
You
was
know,
the
but
hottest commodity.
we need currency, we need money, but we need to manage how we work and how we use it. And that's where we're coming into. So instead of saying, well, I don't want a lot of money, no, you do want a lot of money because it provides the safety and security and the stability that you need to live whatever kind of life you want. But how you use it
Yeah,
and
don't
your
be afraid of it. It's
intention
how
is
you
what
use it.
makes the
Yeah.
difference. And so for
Because
those of you,
everything provided to us here on earth, like we, again, as we talked on another show, we have choice. That's the
yeah,
biggest thing that we can make for ourselves in life is a choice.
exactly.
Okay. So you can choose to do something egregious with the money, demonic with the money, horrible with whatever. Or you could do something positive with the money. Let money work for you. You don't work for money. Let the money work for you.
You
Let
know,
the
people who
money
do great
provide
things
the
and help
lifestyle that you want to live. You
people
know,
who do great things and help people who need help have a lot of money. They
they
couldn't
do.
do that if they
And I
didn't have
noticed those
money.
people give back a lot.
They do.
They give
The good
back a
people who
lot
have a lot of money, they're constantly
because money
contributing
is
and
energy.
building. I mean, Dolly Parton is one of the great examples of who uses her money to help people. She does a lot to help people of all colors. You
Yeah.
know, there are a lot of people out there who have a lot of money. One of the things Billy Carson had a guest on, I can't think of what the guy's name was, but I love this statement he made. He said, "Rich people scream, wealthy people whisper." And
It's
the
true
wealthy
though.
people
Yeah.
are, yeah, they're silent. You may not ever know who they are, but they're behind the scenes doing their work, doing their good, benefiting people. And the rich people are out there screaming and yelling, look at me, look what I got, look at, you know, who I am. So think about wealth. And I've never liked the idea of saying I'm rich, but I love the idea of saying I'm wealthy, because when you say you're wealthy, that means you have not, an abundance of not only money, but love and joy and
Yes.
health and
Peace,
ease and peace. You know, you're
love.
wealthy in all
Yes.
areas. So, you know,
Yeah.
make the money so that you have enough to spare and to share, so that others who come along who may end up down on the luck for a while, you can help lift them up. Because if people can help others when they're down on their luck and need a helping hand to lift them up so that they don't get so lost in the nothings that they can't get out of it, everybody will do better.
Correct.
Everybody will do
And
better.
that's another thing that we don't understand, which is what we will collectively understand at the end of 2026 is we're here to love each other and we're here to help each other. That's what
We're
make
supposed to be.
mankind roll here on this
Yeah,
planet.
that's what
That's
we're
it.
supposed
We're
to
here to
do.
love and help each other. A lot of people don't want to believe it. We're not here to hoard wealth. We're not here to just, have just our generation of people go through this,
Me and mine, that whole kind. Yeah,
yeah, just keep
yeah,
making money off the backs of other people. We're not here to live in fear. We're not here to be slaves. We're here
exactly.
to live an abundant, fulfilled, beautiful life.
I
Okay.
mean,
We're
think
here
about
to
the
also
planet.
set the reality that we want to see on
And
this
the
earth.
planet is, she says, if you want more, I will create more. You know, you think
Correct.
about millionaires back in the turn of the century who were making millions of dollars. Now they've got billions of dollars. The planet just created more of what we wanted so we can have more. And as long as you are in alignment with the creation of it, you can have as much as you want. And if you like, you know, if you're one of those who wants a lot of money and live in big houses and all that expense, that can be, you know, you can have that too, but you don't have to be that kind of wealthy person. I mean, one of the things about Warren
Up to
Buffett, I
you.
have
If
to
you
kind of
want
hand
that,
to
you
him.
can have it. If you don't, then you don't have to have it.
Warren Buffett's one of the wealthiest men on the planet, and he still lives in a house that I think he paid $65,000 for.
Don't believe that. Don't believe him.
No, what I'm saying is he has a lot of money and a lot of wealth,
Don't
but that,
believe him, sis, because I believe just like he said, oh, I'm still driving the car that I bought. Yeah, he probably driving that personally, but that mofo have drivers now that he pay.
well, of
I don't
course he
believe
does,
none of the
but
things them
he's, you know,
celebrities. I mean,
they
them
know
financially as you
The
saying.
things that I've seen, the evidence that I've seen says that he still lives in the same house. Now, you don't know what it
Where
looks
he
like
live
on
at?
the inside.
I'm gonna
And
roll
his,
up on him.
huh?
I'm gonna roll up on him. Where he at?
I don't know where he lives, but he
Where
just
he
retired. But
at?
one of the things that I thought was a little odd, he wasn't giving a whole bunch of money to his kids. He was giving it to charities and
Yeah.
his foundations and things. They had to work for what they wanted. He helped them out and everything. But the point is, you can have a lot of money. The more money you have, the more money you can use to help other people. It becomes a problem when you hoard it and use it to make yourself feel superior to others.
Other
That's
people,
when it
right.
becomes dirty. So,
Exactly.
but you don't need to have billions or even, a gazillion millions to be able to be comfortable and live your life and take care of your family. No
Yeah.
one, there should be no poverty on the planet. This planet produces enough for everybody to have what they need and want. But,
So the world makes us think that, there's not enough to go around. I know a lot
there's
of
more
European
than that.
people have that mindset where Africans back in the day, like before all this colonialism, they did have like a more abundant mindset. You know what I'm saying?
There are
So
many kingdoms in Africa.
right. We really should have, we did not come to this earth in lack. Everything on this earth is here to heal us. Whatever we need to heal us is here on this earth. That's why pharmacies derive their medications from the plants because those plants heal us. Okay. It's put on earth for us to heal. Everything from food, a food source. There's plenty of food here on earth. We really wouldn't run out of anything if man didn't step in and stop the production or stop the harvesting of these different things. They do it on purpose to keep people in fear and to keep people feeling like there's a lack. There's no lack here on
There
earth.
is no lack.
Everything
And
here is
all of the
for our
pharmaceuticals we take,
taking.
all the pharmaceuticals come from one source of food or another, even if it's sea life. One of these shows we'll talk
And if you
about
don't believe me, that's
pharmacy.
just because you have a poverty mindset and you really need to change your mindset in order to experience a life of abundance. It's there. It's all a
Yeah,
mindset. It's
it's
all in
there.
your fucking head. That's it. Change
And
that shit.
we'll talk about the
Excuse my language.
pharmaceutical companies and how that got started. They came out of Germany, and that whole idea of pharmaceuticals
When
was
people started stop taking medicine or
no.
herbs,
Well,
herbs.
natural medicine,
They were
herbal
telling them
medicines,
to
like
take
what
herbs.
comes out of traditional Chinese medicines, those are all natural medicines designed from food and plants. No,
Yeah.
I'm talking back. This was something that came out of Germany back at the time at the end of the war. The pharmaceutical companies were something created
Mm,
by the Nazis back at that time, and they came up with the idea that we could create medications which would alter the state of the humans that we are, that we govern, and by doing this we could take over the world, and they did.
yeah.
And that's why there's so many medicines. And like in Japan, you don't have the same level of pharmaceuticals in Japan that we have in America.
No,
They
we
don't have
don't.
painkillers and stuff like that the way we do. And America is one of the most medicated countries in the world. And big pharma, as we have started calling it, when the concept of pharmaceutical companies came over with those scientists that came from Germany, they started creating medicines on levels that had never been created before and using it to poison us. I
Even
remember
to
when
this
we did,
day, I was going to say, even to this day, like my sister worked for a pharmaceutical company a few years ago, and she said in certain Middle Eastern countries, they're not allowed to put any type of uh, pharmaceutical drug in advertisement. They're not allowed. Check that out. They're not
in
allowed
their
to because they feel like
lifetime,
that's
was
pushing
when
drugs on the people. And I
the
said, that's
ad
sick
started in your
because
lifetime.
every
There was a time when
second.
we didn't have articles, pharmaceutical ads either. That's something started since
But
you came
yeah,
on the
every
planet.
second we have, oh, get your Valtrex, get your this, get your
And
that.
the people
You
go to
know,
the
side
doctor and
effects
tell,
are
yeah,
X,
and
Y, and
now
Z.
exactly. And
Damn near death.
pharmaceuticals, when they started doing advertising
Yeah.
medications and tell your doctor to give you this and give you that, that's when things really flipped into insanity.
That
But
is pushing
it
drugs
wasn't
on
always
people
like
if
that.
you think about it. That's
That
pushing
it
drugs.
wasn't
They're
always
drug
like that.
pushers.
There was a time when you didn't see ads for pharmaceuticals on TV at all. It was a doctor's prescription. But when they decided to start programming us and telling us what to take, and now it's just out of control.
It really is. Like they have a drug for everything.
Everything.
And it's
And
sick.
drugs,
It's like,
they got the
yo,
names for
go to the
drugs,
earth,
and
y'all.
now
Go
it's
to the
like
earth.
I had to look up something the other day. It was GLP-1 or something. I had to look. What the hell is a GLP-1? You know, like they didn't even take the time to give it a name. It's just a number.
Yeah. I ain't taking none of that mess.
I
You
don't
want
take
to lose some
medications
weight, get
either.
your ass in the gym.
You
For
know,
real.
you know, every once in a while I have a acetaminophen in my medicine cabinet in case I get,
I don't
you
even
know,
take
something.
that mess no
I
more.
take it if the pain is, you know, is
And
too
I
bad
got
to
cramps right
withstand.
now, but
Yeah, but you know, I had put together a menopause thing. I guess you
let's talk
know.
about that later, sis.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that later.
but you don't have to
Come
suffer the
on, nah.
symptoms. You don't
What
have
is
to
the
suffer.
prediction show? Yo.
But
Okay.
it's one of
Another
those things
prediction I
where
feel, huh?
taking pills, you know, taking pharmaceuticals and all that, there are still natural ways that work very well. And
That's what I
now
was
with
going to
all this
say. That's
energetic,
another prediction I have. I think people are going to start doing away with traditional medicine.
oh yeah, well that's part of the new
Like
technology
straight
that's
up.
coming along.
They're going to start
It's going
doing
to
more things
be
more the natural way.
we're
And
treating it with sound, we're treating
yeah,
it with
sound
air.
therapy, energy
There's
therapy.
all kinds of things.
We're going to do a
Sound,
tapping show,
air,
y'all. We're going to do a
stuff
tapping
like
show.
that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming. In fact, it's already being used. You know that they use sound waves to break up kidney stones. That's all. That's
That
something that's
is
happening.
dope. Yeah.
And there's these
Sound waves can kill
they
cancer.
call them med beds, but they're starting to create and put them in production where they put you in like an oxygen chamber
Yeah.
and use various gases, you know, that are natural on the planet to heal and cure your body. And what the sound and these like oxygen, what it does is it reharmonizes the body into its natural state of being. Because once you get the
Hmm.
body back in balance, it heals itself.
Right.
Everything that's an illness or something that we suffer from is an out of balance condition that can be corrected.
It can
So
be
we're moving
corrected.
into that time where, you know, the technology you see on Star Wars and Star Trek is going to become what we will be using. And it'll happen in your lifetime. You know, it's
Yeah.
all, in fact, a lot of it's going to be around in the next 5 years.
And
Much
if
of
people
it's
think that
going to
this
be
is not
introduced.
real, just think about when you put on a certain song. Okay, sometimes the song is so motivated, and it gets you up and you start dancing
Oh
and
yeah.
singing, and
Oh
your
yeah.
whole mood change. Music is therapy, and
And
then
just like
sometimes you
it's
listen to
because it's
music and it
sound
takes you
waves.
to a
It's
dark
sound.
spot.
It's
Yeah, it's
sound.
all yeah. Listen
It's
to your hurts, your
and
love
your
hurts
sound.
music, your
The universe is
437s, and
the universe is made out of sound. It says
it
in the
is.
beginning there was the word, and the word was spoken into the vibrational substance, the
That's
energy
it.
of creation, and it's been vibrating ever since. It vibrates at certain frequencies, and the frequency, low level, high level, whatever, creates form. So, I mean, that's why you seen, and you probably have, but if you haven't, look on YouTube where they take sand and put it on a piece of paper and vibrate sound through it, and it creates various patterns like mandalas and stuff like that.
Oh,
They're
that's awesome. I would love
Oh,
to see
it's
that.
on
Yeah, I'm gonna
YouTube
look that
that
up.
shows you how various sound frequencies create form.
Yeah.
And so that's the technologies I use sound waves. You know, energy is like Reiki is not sound waves, it's body energy. It's
Mhm.
frequency without
Yeah.
that you can't hear. But
Yeah.
yeah, as we keep moving forward, we're going to start to learn more and more. Even water, I started doing something we call a water ritual, where you know that book
Speak into
by
the
what's his
water.
name? Yeah, there's a book. The name of the book is Messages in the Water.
Mhm.
Masimoto, I think was the name of it. Is Isimoto. Anyway, you can just look up the book Messages in the Water, and he started experimenting with writing messages on paper and taking it to a glass of water, and then freezing the water, and then taking pictures of the ice crystals, and
Right.
found that contaminated water created horrible, disformed crystals, but water that had words like love and joy and peace on it made beautiful snowflake-like crystals. And
Yeah.
so since then, people have been experimenting with speaking into water, And if you speak positive, loving, uh, joyful energy words from your voice into the water, you can drink that water and put that energy into your body. And because it radiates or resonates at certain frequencies, it can help to heal your body by
Yeah.
just drinking the water. I've been doing some rituals like that for the last month or so. And it takes a little while because it's not like taking a pill that alters your body chemistry to a different artificial state.
Yeah,
But by
like them
using
drugs,
the water
pharmaceutical
frequency,
drugs.
you can change your vibrational frequency so you can be healthier. You
Correct.
can literally, and you can use crystals to help alter the frequency and the composition of the water to even kick it up a notch. So
Crystals hold so much beautiful, positive energy.
it's
I
earth
think that
energy.
everybody should have some in
We
their home.
we are crystals.
Yeah, I
We
know.
we are
But
crystals, and when you use the crystal energy in your body, it does the same thing. Crystals
yeah,
are energy that doesn't change form. We
I have
change
some
form
crystals
because
right
of
here
our
on my
emotions.
desk. Like I keep stones and crystals and a
You
lot of
can
things just sitting
I don't
around
have
me. I
my
always keep
bottle in
sitting
here.
around me,
I have a
you
water
know?
bottle that has a chamber at the bottom where I put crystals in the chamber
Oh,
and pour water into my
do you
crystal
drink
bottle.
it?
Yes,
I
yes.
gotta show you my crystal baby elephant I just bought. It's so pretty.
You can do it without a water bottle. You can put your glass of water in a bowl and put crystals in the bowl like a glass or ceramic bowl and put the crystals around the glass of water and let it sit for about 15-20 minutes and the crystals will change and alter the water. And if you speak words into the water, it even energizes it even more. So there's all kinds of things that you can do.
Yeah.
People don't know. Wealthy
They
people
really
know
don't.
about
You
it,
should
but
charge your
most people
crystals
don't.
in the sun, charge it in the moon.
Yeah.
Those are the best energy, y'all.
Energy.
Energy. It's
You know,
everything.
I work with crystals. I'm a crystal therapist
Crystal
too.
healer.
So
I wanted to get into like studying crystals more. I just know I love it. I've always loved crystal. I remember my first
the
apartment,
school,
I got like a crystal bowl
I have
that I
tons
got
of
from a thrift
crystals.
shop.
I
And let
have
me tell
tons
you
of
something,
crystals.
sis. It brought in a lot of good like
That's
just
what
good energy in my
crystals
home.
crystals are structures that don't change. And whatever you
And
put
that's
them
how I
in
always
and
have
around,
crystals.
they change the vibrational frequency of whatever they come into contact with. The crystal school that I went to 7 years ago closed
Hmm.
on the 31st of December. But she gave us when we enrolled in the classes, she told us we'd have lifetime access to all of that information. So before she closed the school, she gave all of us everything that she's ever taught in the class for the last 10-15 years. And so I have all of her class material and everything downloaded on my computer. So I can now, if I wanted to, start teaching crystal classes from her materials. And
Yeah.
I've been thinking about doing that because she had the best crystal school that was out there. And the reason why she closed it was because coaching and energy healing and all of those modalities have been taking a big hit for the last few years
Yeah.
as they've been talking us out of using natural methods. But because of where we are, we're going back into it. But she didn't have enough students enrolling in her class to maintain the expensive technology and things that she had to maintain in order to serve the school. And so I mean, tearfully, she told us about 6 months ago that because they weren't making enough money to maintain the school, that she was going to close it at the end of December, and she did.
Yeah.
But she
I'm
gave
sorry to
us
hear that.
all
Yeah.
of that. It was really heartbreaking, but I was grateful that she was so generous. And somebody asked her in one of the last seminars that she did, well, aren't you afraid people are going to take your material and start selling it and using it? She said, that's why I'm giving it to you. You
Yeah,
guys
because
have been
it's here to
trained
teach,
by
so you
me.
can pass it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she said, you guys have been trained by me. So I know people are going to start teaching classes based on my material. And she said, keep it going because before long, this is going to be in demand again.
Yeah. Oh, and another prediction too. I feel, and it's already happening. Okay. It's been happening for the last, I would say, 3 years. And it's all because the Zoomers, I love you guys. Y'all my best friend. My son is a Zoomer.
Yep.
You guys ask the questions that we never asked. We were just programmed to do. And when I was younger, I used to ask the questions and I used to get, oh my goodness, I was
What,
called every name in the book in my
what question? I bet it's one that I used to ask.
But ask all the questions, especially when it comes to spirituality, religion, things of that nature. I That's my prediction. Spiritual, like the church, is going to be dead soon. There's not going to
Girl,
be a
they
church
have, you
anymore.
have
The
no
traditional
idea.
church that we see now
You have
is
no
going to
idea.
be dead soon. People are coming into a new wave
And it
of
should be
spirituality.
spirituality. It should be
Yeah,
because that's connected to the truth. And there are enough of
there will
us
be
that
new
teach
churches erected.
spirituality to be able to help those. But
Right.
when religion is revealed for what it really is, like when I said people are gonna start jumping off
Which is
buildings,
control. Is here to control people and not really a tool for love and
did you
acceptance and living. We're supposed to live by these rules and things like that of the
well, they're
Bible, but
twisted
it's really
rules.
a punishment.
They
You're being
took the truth.
punished.
Yeah, they took the truth. Some of it's true,
You
but they took
need
the truth and
credit for that
twisted it
shit.
for control. And there's a
Yeah.
version of religion for black people and a version of religion for white people. And the black people's religion was tailored so that it would keep us in a slave mentality, while the white people, the way they practice religion is different from the way black people do. And it gives them the freedom. People wonder, well, how can they do this? How can they do that? It's because their religion teaches them differently than black religion does. And black religion teaches us to stay in poverty and lack and limitation and fear and worry and begging,
Yeah.
whereas theirs does not. But I read something just
Hi,
the other
Key.
day. I read something just the other day that was
Yeah.
like a whoa to me. The Vatican was built on a a, former cemetery ground where there were devil worshippers, and the name Vatican came from the queen of this dark world. Her name was Vatica.
Get the pluck out of here.
Girl,
Are you
and
serious?
no, look it up.
No, we
Look it up. And
gotta.
it talked about
where
how
you
she
where
was
you
the
see
queen of
that at?
this underworld. They were dark practitioners that did all this crazy shit, and the Vatican, the catacombs and everything under the Vatican are
Yeah.
the old areas where they used to practice their dark worship and do all their dirt and everything. And they built the Vatican on this consecrated, desiccated ground and called it the Vatican, but it's built on darkness. I've
Let me tell you
also
something.
there's
Okay.
also there's a dark Vatican. In other words,
Well, that's
there's
where I
the
think a
dark.
lot of these practices come from.
Yes,
I
and
think these
they're the
practices
ones
come
that are
from
calling the
darkness.
shots. It's not the light,
And then
the
they
pope.
program people
There's
into believing this
it was
shit,
there's a
which is
dark
why
pope,
everybody
and
has
he's
a
the
low
one.
frequency on this planet. This
Yeah,
whole
but
planet has a
girl,
low
I tell you,
frequency.
when the
They
truth
have us
starts
all
to come
believing
out,
that shit,
and
y'all. And it's
when it
not
comes
even the
out,
right
people are
belief
going to
system. Your
lose
belief
their
system
minds.
is here,
They're gonna lose their minds. But yeah, look it up.
inside. Okay,
It
I
was
gotta look
built.
that up.
It
I
was
gotta.
built on the dark.
Hey, Dave. He said, "Live your life in abundance." I agree. That's
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
Only
That's
way
the
to
only
be,
way to
baby,
live.
especially in 2026. 2026, I swear, people really should be worried about their selves in
But
a
not in a
positive,
selfish way. Not in a
and not
selfish
in a
way.
selfish way. I'm talking about really making sure that you take care of yourself, because this government is not going to do it for you. You already see what the government is doing. All right. They're taking away food
Everything.
stamps, all kinds of things that people used to rely on them for. And this is not sustainable. Our belief in them is not sustainable. You have to really do for yourself at this point. And like I said,
It's terrible.
for
Because even the
one,
food
everybody's
stamps
going to
system.
come together in a community. There's going to be just different communities of people coming together, supporting each other. I really see that old school community. Wait, I see that old school community of how the grandparents stay with the families until
there are
and then
still
it keeps
cultures that
repeating
still honor
itself.
those traditions.
That's going to
We are
happen
the
again.
ones that have been taught out of it. But one of the things I found out about the food stamp system, when they put it together, it was designed to support the food distribution system across the country,
The
from truckers
farmers
to
and
farms,
everything.
all of
Yeah,
that. When they did away with the food stamps, it took money out of the system that caused a lot of people to lose their jobs that were part of the system that sustained the food chain for the whole country.
correct.
wasn't just black people and poor white people. It was designed to support the entire food chain. And when they undid that, which is one of the reasons they plugged it back in, was because it was about to cause the entire food system to collapse for everybody. So, when you think about some of the things, some of the plugs that they're pulling, they don't always understand how interconnected everything is, and they end up shooting themselves in the foot. And sometimes they can't undo the damage in time. So
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
to be independent. And I am
Right.
so
Number one is about
independent,
independence.
especially women. Women,
Yeah.
because we end up with the families, we're the caregivers, we're the babysitters, we're the mothers.
Yeah.
Women need to buy out of this whole thing about the trad wife and being dependent on a man. I'm not taking anything away from men,
If
because
that's
we
what you want to
can't
do,
do
you
this
do it.
without you. We need you. But we need to redefine the feminine role and allow women to be money earners, and to be able to be uh, part of the financial system. Because when it comes down to it, every man out there is human, just like everybody else. They get sick, they get hurt, they
Yeah.
die.
What if your man
And
can't
women,
work no more? So you have to step in. How you
we
going to pay the
outlive
bills?
men, and we're the ones who are taking care of the grandparents, the children, and the husbands sometime.
Yeah.
And so without a woman being financially capable, she cannot meet her motherly duties, if you will, because we're the ones who are taking care of the world. I mean,
Yeah.
men are so important. They're the backbone, they're the strength. I remember seeing on Dancing with the Stars one time, Lynn Goodman, who used to be the head coach, judge there, he was teaching some of the one couple. They were dancing, and he was their coach for a minute. And he was
Mhm.
telling them, he said, the men are the ones that support the frame that supplies the structure for her to dance in. She spins, she pirouettes, she flips, she does, and he holds the frame. He holds the structure and supports her while she does all of her beautiful fluid moments and movements. And he said she can't do that without him supporting her. And that has to be the mindset between men and women. Women are curves, we're fluid, we flow, we're beauty, we're color. Men are the structure that everything is built on, that the foundation, it needs to be there for us to give the birth to the children, to care, give, to love, to embrace, to support. It's a unit.
We add the color to the house,
We do.
basically.
Billy talks about that. He said, if you ever go to a country where women are suppressed, he said, everything is brown. Everything
Oh, I
is,
know, like in
he said,
like those Middle
we
Eastern
go to
countries.
Egypt,
Yeah.
everything is
Oh, they got
brown.
no color.
There's no color, there's no flowers. He said, because the feminine, divine feminine, is suppressed. He said that
Yeah.
has to be set free for the planet to live, for life to thrive, and for our children to grow. So,
Yeah.
men, we need you, but we need you to be the structure and the foundation and the support, and know your place as being that for the family and for the women that you love. We cannot, women who are struggling without men in their lives, believe me, I know my husband died 20 years ago, but I didn't feel trust. I didn't trust men for all this time because I had been so misused and hurt by boyfriends and things. But without that, it's a hard life for women, and we become,
I
it
think
makes
it's
us
only hard
cold.
if you set yourself up for
Well,
it to
it's
be bad.
hard because
That's
of the way
another
things have
conversation
been.
for another
It's
day,
not
sis,
for not
because
moving. It won't be as bad moving forward, but we still need that structure and that support of the men in our lives. But
mhm.
the way things have been, the time that I've come through, it is very hard when you are single, because our society has not been set up to support single women. A lot of times men will tell you, like, I get been told many times, you're one of those women, you don't need a man. I say, yeah, I do. I need a man. I don't need a ruler.
Exactly.
There's a
This is
difference.
another time this year, guys. Another prediction is reinvention, reinventing yourself.
Yeah,
Changing who, if you don't like the trajectory of your life right now,
change
this
it.
is the best time to change it. I'm dead ass. Like, strip away that old personality and build up a new one, build up a new life, build up a new image, whatever it is that you want to see
And it
in
doesn't mean
yourself,
society's image
build
of
it up.
who defines you. It should be your authenticity, your integrity,
Because your
your strength.
authenticity is going to take you far. That's what's going to
Yes.
really take you far.
And stop
Erica
listening to
Badu just
everybody
said that
else's
the other day.
information.
She said, I'm popular because I'm authentic. And I said, that's absolutely correct. She does well because she's so authentic. She's not like any other artist out here right now walking this earth. So yeah, just be that's why we need you, everybody. We need each other
Everybody
collectively
needs
because
everybody. Yeah,
all of
we
us
need
bring
each other.
some type of God beauty to this earth, which formulates our reality. So we need our differences of opinions. We need our differences in ways of being. It's a beautiful thing. We're not supposed to be all structured and following the same thing. That's
It's the
boring.
variety. I
Okay.
mean, look at Mother Earth. There are no two flowers. They may be the same kind of flower, but no two
But
flowers
every flower is
look the same.
different.
And
I was just looking at the deers outside my window
every day
today.
is
They
different.
were different. They deers, but I can tell the difference between the deers.
Oh
I
yeah,
know, look at that little
everything
skinny
is
one. Look at that
unique.
little skinny one.
And
They
we
beautiful.
need to be out of judgment and into tolerance, out
Out
of
of judgment, right?
intolerance and into patience and acceptance, because everybody born on this planet is a creation of the divine. And every divine creation is here for a reason to express their uniqueness.
Their
Every
unique,
one
their
of it is a
personal
divine
uniqueness.
expression of Creator. And when
Correct.
it decides to express through a human being in a certain way, we need to be okay with that,
Yeah.
because we don't make any human being. We don't create any human being. We give birth to what comes, and it's our desire, our duty, our responsibility to accept, love, and nurture that being until it grows up to become the expression of what it came here to be, instead of
Yeah.
doing what we do. And I don't know how many people I talked to whose parents destroyed them long before they became an adult, and then we spend the rest of our lives trying to figure out, well, what happened, why
I
am I like this,
know.
and crying, and I mean,
Yeah.
so
This is also the
a
time,
new
guys,
world.
to really live the life that you want to live. And don't be so pressured by society to live the life that you think other people want you to live.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you really, like, for instance, I moved up to the mountains, right? And so I was speaking to one of my friends the other day, my coach, my workout coach. I love you, coach. But he was like, why are you up there? You're not setting up, like, you're just all over the place. But he didn't understand, like, I'm here to create a different reality for myself. I didn't separate myself purposely, like to like just get away from people. No, this is a spiritual journey I'm on.
Yeah.
And only those who know will get it.
Yeah.
I
And
don't have
that's
to
as it
explain
should be.
myself to nobody.
Exactly.
I do what the fuck I want to do when I want to do it. And if I want to move again, I'll move again wherever I want to go. But people don't understand that. They just think that you're being wishy-washy and all over the place. But like I said, my situation when I was a young girl, okay, being homeless. I never had the chance to really live life. I have the chance now. I live it.
Yeah, and you should.
Within
You're
reason,
at the point where you can appreciate it too.
yes, and I appreciate like when I went to the islands this summer, I appreciated every freaking moment of that
I bet
experience.
you did.
And
Yeah.
that right there taught me to live more experiences in life. There's a whole life out here. As long as I'm healthy and happy and I can do it, sis, I'm gonna do it.
You should.
And I think that others, like what I experienced, I think other people should do it too. This is, and again, number 1 year. This is the year to do it. This is your year to do it.
If nothing else, start planning it and then work your plan. Because
Exactly.
for some, it's going to be a recreation, a rebuilding, a starting fresh. And like I said at the very beginning, not starting over, but starting fresh.
Yeah.
When I got pushed through that door last week, and it was like something pushed me through the door, and when I turned around, the door had disappeared. And so there was no way going back. It was start here and move forward. So what do you want to create from this point forward? I went to a church that's it's a metaphysical church,
Hmm.
spiritual church, and I really like this guy. He's a great minister, a teacher. But he made the comment. Um, he said, "This is a time of creation. We are co-creators with spirit. We
We are
create." He
co-creators.
said, "I hate that word manifestation." He said, "It's man infestation. Stop infesting the world with man." He said, "Create,"
I
meaning
love
you
that.
making something new. And I thought, that's my new word for making making things happen. Creating and being the co-creator that I was created to be, instead of a man infestation of the planet.
You
I
know what?
thought,
I only use the word manifestation to relate to other people so
I
that they,
know,
yeah, but
but
I
he
don't
said
usually
that.
use that word I never use that word personally for myself because I don't believe in that word. I believe that you don't have to manifest anything when you are. When you are, it
Yeah,
just happens.
it,
That's
and
it.
when he said that, though, he got a man infestation. I said, "Oh, I love that."
But for those who are interested in learning to create more of a better life for themselves, the first thing that you must do is go within. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the first. Even Jesus taught that. All
Yeah,
right,
that was
even Jesus
yeah,
taught
that
that.
was his big thing about
Yeah,
meditation.
thank you. A
Mhm.
lot of people don't even understand that it is within. Everything, as I said before, begins in the mind.
Well, it's
It's
in the
all a
Bible.
mindset.
It talks about going into your secret closet, shutting the door
Your
behind you,
closet is
and
here. Your closet is here. Your closet is here. I'm doing
being with
tapping.
the
Your closet
Creator,
is
with the One.
here. That's
Talk
right.
to your God in secret. That's
In
within you.
secret.
And but then, there's so
That's
many
the first
people don't
step.
understand that the Bible is in parables and in symbols,
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
when Jesus was here teaching, the people were not sophisticated and educated enough to
And they're
understand
taking
what
it
he was
very
saying.
literally, and
So
it's not
he had
literal.
to make up stories,
Everything is metaphysical.
but it's
Everything.
everything. It's you go into your secret closet, close the door behind you, and talk to the Father in secret within you. And
Yes.
so it's all about meditation. I've been meditating for God, 40 some almost 50 years now. And believe me, it is the key to everything. You will
It
get
is.
guidance, you'll get relief, you'll get, if nothing else, just peace. And I still, I hadn't been meditating as much as I used to. I used to meditate twice a day for about an hour.
Yeah.
And then somehow another life happened in between, and I stopped doing it. But now I'm back to, I try to do it at least a half hour every day. And I have different forms. There's different ways you can meditate. It's not all about just sitting quiet with your eyes closed. There's a moving meditation, there's walking meditation, there's sitting in nature meditation, there's
Yeah.
listening to music meditation. There's so many different ways to meditate. The point is to do it where it's no one but you.
It's just you
Just
and your
you
own
and
thoughts.
you
I
and God
meditate. The
together.
first thing I do before I get out of the bed, if I don't have to pee first.
Yeah, yeah,
If I do, I just run and get back in bed. I sit with myself.
yeah,
One time I sat with myself, and when I looked up, it was 2 hours later.
yeah.
I said that was deep, but I
It could
needed that
happen.
cleansing. I needed it. But most times when I sit with myself, it's like for a good 45 minutes now
Yeah.
because
The longer you do it, the better.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm thinking about my son. He's like my top priority here on this earth because I want to make sure that he gets the message and that he creates the life that he wants to have on this earth. That's my main objective for him, but it's my nieces and my nephews, I think about them, but I'm always cleansing my energy and starting the day that way, and for the most part since I've been doing that, it's been years now. My days have been good. Now, a lot of
Yeah.
people, yeah, they call me, they go, "Oh, why you?" I remember this lady called me, a client. She said, "Every time I talk to you, you in a good mood." Yeah. Like, why shouldn't I be? You know what I'm saying? And
Because
I'm like,
they're
of
not,
course I'm in a good mood. I said, if I
they're
was in
not,
a bad mood, would you want to talk to me as as your insurance agent? No. You probably, well, maybe she would have because it would have appeased her bad spirit or whatever it is that she was
yeah.
feeling, would have made her feel better. But I'm not doing that. I'm not stooping down,
Don't,
you know, in
protect
order
your
for you
energy
to
like
feel
you protect
comfortable.
your life. The
No, I would
wealthy
never
people,
step out of my boundaries when I
no,
know I
wealthy
feel good
people,
with myself.
it's
No,
one of the
never.
reasons why you can't get in touch with wealthy people and people who are happy and doing well. They eliminate the riffraff and the
You
trauma out
notice
of their
that?
life because it messes with their energy, and they
Yeah, it
can't
messes with the
create
energy.
and be their best creators when there's something over here that's causing trauma, and that includes, sometimes you have to get rid of a partner that is creating trauma because the partner doesn't want peace and harmony and to work together to create something better. And that can be a hard decision, but if
It
you're
really
wanting
is,
something
yeah.
new and better and you got people around you who are about tearing down things and always creating a crisis and always drama, there's some people that will burn a relationship to the ground and everything with it just because they
Yeah.
can't have their way. When you
If you
find
talk
yourself in
about
a situation,
people in front of a wealthy person, they don't respect you. You notice that, right?
right,
If you gossip in front of try gossiping in front of a wealthy person.
they will
Even if you're talking about
disappear.
a celebrity, they be looking at you like, bitch, you better go create something. Like, what are you
They
telling
don't
me
want your
this
name
for?
because that energy is contagious.
Yeah,
And they
that
know
energy
that
is
by taking
contagious,
it
right?
into their energy field, it becomes a contaminant in them, like we were talking about earlier, taking on that energy. That's
Yeah,
one of the reasons why you notice how sometimes people who become successful and they're living in the hood, whatever, and after they start making money, they move away and start hanging out with a different kind of people. And you
because they know
wonder,
if they stay in the
they
hood, what's going
they
to
have to,
happen?
they can't
A
stay,
negative
they can't
effect. You
stay.
can't
Yeah,
have
you
money
can't
in the
do it.
hood.
You can't do it.
Yeah, they're going to kill
And
you.
so, and it's not that you think you're better than anyone, but
No,
it's about protecting the
it's energy
energy
too. You
that
have to go
that
where the
the
energy
creator
flows.
is giving you. One of the things I learned about God, and the thing that makes us powerful creators is,
Hmm.
God is all of the beautiful things, the love, the peace, the joy, all of the qualities that we aspire to, that we want in our lives. That's what God is. We
Right.
humans created all the bullshit. So when we're out
Yeah.
of alignment with spirit and we're not in
We
that
allow our egos to take
frequency, we
over.
can't create.
We can't.
We create more trauma, and chaos and confusion. But when you get rid of all of that negativity and start radiating the power of that beauty and that alignment and that source energy, things start working for you and are better for you. Now, that doesn't say that you won't go through a cycle of lack and limitation or cycles of things turning around, because life is cycles. It's
It
always
is.
sometimes things are better, sometimes things are a struggle, and you just kind of have to learn to read the rhythms and
Ebb and
work
you
with
flow
it.
with it. That's life. And that's
Yeah,
what,
it's
see, this
life,
is the thing. That's what makes life beautiful. Not everything is supposed to be perfect all the
and it's
time.
not supposed
It's
to do.
good
It's
to
not
have
supposed,
tough
and
times
nothing
sometimes.
lasts
It
forever. Things
grows you.
change. You can
Yeah, it
change it.
grows you. Let me tell
It
you
does.
about what you just said about God being good and everything like that. I call it the I and the me. Okay. The
Yeah,
I is that top spiritual side of yourself where you just very sure of yourself is the person inside. Okay. It's your spirit being. The me is the egotistical side of your being, the one that runs on impulse.
yeah.
That's the one who gets you in trouble.
Trouble. Yeah,
It's almost like when you look at your seven chakras, for instance, the the I is at the top tier, the top
right.
three, and the me
Me is
is
the
at the
bottom one.
bottom three.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Well, the bottom, and even the me part of you, because the second and third chakras are about your emotional system and your mental system, which is the creative energy that you carry. It's that root chakra
The
where
root
the ego
chakra,
head,
right?
that's that bottom one, that very first one, that
Hmm.
is the big problem. And once you get it in alignment and balance with the others, things do flow better. I mean, you do have an ego, it's your personality, but when your ego is in control and out of harmony with the rest of your being, that's when it causes trouble. And we see a lot of people who are all about their ego and don't realize that they are. The same minister was talking
Like
on Sunday,
Donald
he made
Trump.
the comment, he said, when somebody comes to you and starts telling you about my truth, this is my truth,
Yeah, my
my truth,
truth.
that,
That's
he said,
ego
that's
all the
ego.
way.
He said that
That's
is all
ego.
ego. And he said,
Yeah.
anytime somebody starts talking about my truth and this is my truth, he said, you can look at them and know that they are excluding everybody else from consideration when they act, say, or do something.
Instead of just taking accountability and saying, I. am this. I am this way.
Well,
That's
I am
way
the two
different
most powerful
than this
words.
is my truth.
Yeah, I've had people, I had somebody look me in the eye and telling me, I don't care about you. I'm doing what's right for me. This is my truth. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm done with you.
Ego.
Yeah, oh, it's all
Egotistical,
ego, all
egotistical and
ego.
narcissistic.
Yeah, but I know people, I know some people that they're always talking about their truth. This and I was like, I'm done with you. So
Yeah.
anyway, Miss Lady.
So, okay, I know we got to go. So I just want to say we're going to come back with another prediction show next. I don't know if it's going to be next week. I got to hit up Sister Ash because I want to go into the political arena about predictions and
That
stuff
should
like
be
that,
interesting.
and also the world economy, the money part. We're going to do
Yeah,
that probably next week with Ash as our special guest, along with me and Sister Sophia. But I do want to say this: 2026, number one year. Set some good goals for yourself. Okay, the patterns that you were once doing before, back for the last 10 years, let that shit go, especially if it's not serving your highest good.
that's right.
People that no longer serve you, people who bring negativity into your life, let it go. Okay, you'll be so happy. Trust and believe by the
In
end
the
of this
long run,
year
you will.
or by
Yeah.
next year, this time when we talk again, you are going to come back and tell me your stories about how just letting people go, letting places go. Okay, even like your jobs and stuff. If you don't like that shit, change it. You're not beholden to those places, people, and things.
You
Nothing is
have to
holding you
change
back
it.
for yourself. Let fear go. Fear is a paralyzer. It paralyzes us. It makes us not move. We need to be in movement right now. Okay. The one year is all about creating, okay, beginning new things and create and just living a different experience than what you were living before.
Hmm.
Together, collectively, for mankind, we should get together and we really should take care of each other and not worry about the government doing it for us.
They're not going to do anything for us anymore. Pretty soon, that's going to
They're
change.
not.
You know, we'll, it's interesting. I do have some kind of predictions or some things that I've been given
Yeah.
about the political changes. So it'll be
Are we
interesting
going
to
to talk
see
about
what
that
you have
next
to
year,
say.
next
Yeah,
week? We can't talk about it
it'll be
right now.
interesting. No, I'm
But
not
that's going
going
to take
to,
up a
but
whole show.
it'll be interesting to hear what she has to say.
Yeah, because I wanted to like really focus on the self,
Yeah.
okay? The self, creating for yourself, doing for yourself, being for yourself, be the leader that you want to seek. Stop saying, oh, where are our leaders in our community? Because I see a lot of Black people ask that question. Where are our leaders? You are your leader. Stop playing. Get up, be the man and the woman that you want to see in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said, okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A
Because
lot of people
all
don't
the
want that
answers can be
mirror.
found in the
They
Michael
don't want to
Jackson
look in the
song.
mirror because they don't like what they see, and then they
Mm-hmm.
that's when they start hiding. Oh, I don't like what I'm seeing. Then change who you are so you love
Change who
what
you
you see.
are.
Because
Exactly.
if
Be the
without that
change
self
you want
love
to
and
see this
appreciation,
year.
you're never going to be able to make things happen. We are in a different world, a different vibration. There is a different time. All of the bullshit that we've been hiding behind, the facades, masks we've been wearing, all that stuff is coming off. You are about to be the emperor with no clothes. If you don't have your shit together, it's all going to come out and people are going to be able to see through you. We are waking up spiritually and energetically and intuitively, and things are not going to be the same. You're not going to, as one of my mentors says, you got to clean out the shit from the backpack. And when you get the backpack emptied out, look inside. There's more crap in the bottom. And believe me, he's right. So
Yeah,
you can't take it with you. No longer can you carry it around, and you certainly can't take it with you.
exactly. This
So
show wasn't about,
own up.
forecasting or anything. It was about really truly being your true authentic self, being a co-creators of your life, knowing that you have the power to create your existence and the life that you want to live. All
And you have
right?
to do it. You have
You
to
just
do it.
have to do it.
Nobody can do
Put
it
the
for
work
you.
in. Exactly.
And even when it gets tough, when it really gets
Right,
tough,
because
and
it
you're
does
at
get
the
tough, girl.
wall,
It does
keep
get tough.
going. Don't stop. Don't
Don't give
stop.
up.
You can make it. Yeah, you
And
can make
because that's what the powers to be want you to do. They want people to give up. And back in the past, that's what people used to do. They used to be so tired from work and kids and family and this. They used to just give up and not fight back. This is not the time to give up, y'all.
it. No.
Seriously, if you want something different for yourself, you are not going to give up. There's no room to give up. Seriously, let's all create a different reality, especially for this earth that we're living on.
Yeah,
Straight
instead
up.
of giving up, grab on to someone who has the same desire and intention that you do, and help
Correct.
each other. Help each other, because it's very hard to do it on your own. But when there's someone that you can laugh with or cry with as you're facing the challenges, it makes it so much easier. And that's why we're here. None of us, as that movie go, no man, no woman is an island. We are
She wants
all
y'all to be
here.
booed up, y'all. I'm just playing.
Yeah, yeah, we've got to support each other, because you
Yeah, no,
can't
we
do
do
it
really
by
have to
yourself.
support each other. You're absolutely right, Sister Sophia. I was just messing with you.
I know, I know. All right.
All right, y'all. This ends our show. We will see you next week when we will have another prediction show with Sister Ash. Hopefully she'll be on with us, and we will talk about more about the political predictions that are coming as we see that Trump, he took over Venezuela. So we're going to tell you guys what's
Oh,
going to
guys.
happen. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
And
man.
he has his eye on Greenland too. But some things aren't going to happen the way we think they're going to happen.
Nothing's going to happen the way we
Oh,
think
let's
it
talk about that
is.
next week.
It's all
We'll
going
talk
to be
about
a
it next week.
surprise. Nothing is going to happen the way we think it is.
Oh, it's not.
So
Trust.
get ready.
Yeah, get ready, y'all. See you
Hold
next
up.
week.
If Sam Jackson said in Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts.
Thank y'all for joining. See you next week.
You guys take care.